So welcome to lecture 7 on circuit theory course. So in the last class, basically what we are discussing that how to write the circuit equation using nodal analysis. Okay, and then we have taken 2 or 3 examples and we got it some fixed pattern, and from that by inspection also we can write it right with the ease. Okay, now from that what we have observed that once we have formulated the equations into linear algebra form, then what we have seen that your admittance matrix into your unknown voltage, that is unknown voltages, was equal to your source voltage, right? Now in order to solve this, what we have seen, the solution will be y inverse into your source vector, right? And how to find out that? It will be your adjoint of a, sorry, not a, adjoint of y divided by determinant of y into your source vector I as well, right? Now in order to have the solution, what is the condition? Your determinant of y should not be equal to 0. Then only you will get the known values of the unknown vector v, right? Now what is the determinant? That question came in our mind, so that we have discussed in the last class by taking one example. So we came to the conclusion that a determinant will be giving me the change of, by how much amount the change in area happened for the input signal, let's say any y, okay, not this y but any input signal, say maybe voltage, current, or what vector you are taking it into interest. Okay, now let us see if the determinant is equal to 0, what is its interpretation in circuit perspective. Okay, so in order to understand that, what I will do, I will have some assumptions. Let me assume something is that, let me assume that my circuit is autonomous. Autonomous means my all input sources are nullified or input sources are equal to 0, right? So if this is the case, how can I write this equation? Admittance matrix in unknown vector will be equal to 0. Now if I would like to find out the solution, how can we find out the solution? Your unknown vector v will be equal to y inverse into 0. And what is y inverse? It will be your adjoint of y divided by determinant of y into 0. Now the question is, if determinant is equal to 0 and if the determinant is not equal to 0. So first let us see, if determinant is not equal to 0, what does it mean? You will get it, if determinant is not equal to 0 means something into 0, it will be 0, right? So this is one case. And if determinant is equal to 0, what I will get it? 0 upon 0, which is undefined, right? If it is undefined, what I can say that there is no solution at all. Okay, so how can you interpret that? The solution will exist if and only if determinant of y is equal to 0, right? Means what? All the node voltages are equal to 0, correct? And if determinant, this will exist only when determinant is not equal to 0. But if I am nullify all the sources, or if I make it all the values equal to 0, if I will find out the unknown vector v, and if v naught is not equal to 0, what does it mean? It means that your determinant is not equal to 0, correct? Yes or no? Sorry, this is not the case. This will exist only when your determinant is equal to 0, right? So if determinant is not equal to 0, what does it mean? All the voltage values in your vector, this vector, are 0. But if it doesn't satisfy the case, what does it mean? Your v vector will not be equal to 0. That is the case. So what is the circuit perspective now? If I have one circuit, right, and to that circuit, if I will nullify all the sources, so here I will make it all the sources values are equal to 0, and then if I will find out all the voltage sources, okay, not voltage, if I will find out all the voltage values, node voltages, then what I will observe, if the determinant of that admittance matrix, if it is equal to 0, what I will be able to get it, that all the node voltages or some of the node voltages will not be equal to 0, right? As opposed to it, if the determinant of the admittance matrix is not equal to 0, what I will get it? I will get it that all the node voltages must have to be equal to 0. This is the case. Okay, let us see with one example. Say I have the circuit like this. Basically this circuit I have let me draw this way. suppose this like this. There is one more current source here, and say values are R1 and this value is R2, and this is one terminal and opposite. So suppose this is my I1 and this is my I2. Okay, now to say this, okay, so I have this. Now I would like to find out the node voltages, for example. So look at this circuit carefully. Now let me apply the nodal analysis in this case. So what is my first thing? Let me select the reference voltage 0. Let me identify the node voltages. Suppose this is my one node voltage, this is my second, this is my third node voltage. Basically this circuit I have taken from Professor Ali Hajimari video. This is the fine. Now what I will say that I would like to find out the node voltages V1, V2, V3 using nodal analysis. So start the case. Okay. Yeah, so we can write the KVL, we can write the KCL at node voltages so that we can express in terms of voltages and we can find out. That is the general procedure. Now in order to check the determinant which is equal to 0, what I will do, I will nullify the sources, or I will make it this sources equal to 0. So let me redraw the circuit. How will it be? It will be something like this. Okay, it will be here and it will be like this. Fine. Say this is my R1 and this is my R2, and these are my node voltages V1, and this is my node voltage V2 and V3. Okay, so what is it? Here there is no flow of current, it is flowing to ground. So here what is the value of V1? V1 will be equal to 0, right? But if I look at the other side, what I am observing, these two terminals are floating terminals, right? So what will happen? This will definitely will not be equal to 0, but it may have that V2 may be equal to V3, right? This is the possibility, correct? But definitely it is not equal to 0. So what does it mean? Is it satisfying the determinant is not equal to 0, or does this circuit is having the solution? No, because what is happening, if I'll write the equation and if I'll formulate this in terms of the linear algebra form, what I will get, whatever the admittance matrix I will get it, this admittance matrix, if I'll take the determinant, definitely that matrix determinant will be equal to 0, because here I am observing that if I nullify, my all voltages are not 0. Okay, let us see the by writing the equations. Okay, so some space is here, I will write here. Okay, so let me write for, okay, directly we can write the admittance matrix. Okay, so at node 1, what are the interconductances? R1, that's it. So this will be your G1. For the next diagonal element, what are the conductances connected to node V2? It will be G2, and for 3 same it is G2, right? Okay, and the common is what? Between 1 to 2 nothing is there, so that is 0. Between 1 to 3 no conductance connected, so 0. If this is 0, there is no dependent source, so it is symmetric. This is also 0, right? Now what is between 2 to 3? Yeah, it is there, that is minus G2, and if it is the case, it is symmetric, so this also element will be minus G2. In 2 there will be 3 node voltages V1, V2, V3, and which will be equal to, for I1 it is leaving, so it will be minus I1, for I2 it is incoming, so it will be plus I2, and for I3 it is leaving, so it will be plus I3. Okay, no, it is leaving, so it is minus I3, correct? Okay, so this is the nodal representation, right? Now which matrix? This is my admittance matrix Y, correct? Now let me find out the determinant of it. So what is the determinant? G1 0 0 0, G2 minus G2 0 minus G2 plus G2. So what is the determinant? G1 into G2 square minus G2 square minus 0 plus 0, right? So g2 square, that is 0. So ultimately, yeah, we got it. What is it? The determinant is equal to 0. Means what? There is no solution, or there is no existence of the solution for this particular network or for this particular circuit, right? Okay, so what is the conclusion from it? The conclusion is that if I would like to find out whether that circuit is having a solution or not, so how can I do it? I will nullify all the sources, or I will make it all the sources equal to 0, and I will check all the node voltages. If all the node voltages are 0, then I will assume that there is a definitely solution exists. But if the solution, or if the determinant is if some of the node voltages are not 0, what does it mean? There is definitely the determinant of the admittance matrix is equal to 0, which not satisfy the solution existence, right? Okay, so your assignment for you is that your assignment number 1 is you have to find out at least 2 such networks where you will get the determinant of admittance matrix is equal to 0. Okay, and you check it out, using the circuits also. You nullify it and find out whether all the node voltages are 0 or not. Okay, now with this note, let us go to next, that is how we can apply again the nodal analysis if the resistive network consists of the voltage sources, right? So till now what we have seen the resistive network with all the current sources. Now let me see what happened if the network consists of voltage sources. And after that we'll go to the problem that if there is the presence of voltage source between 2 nodes only. Okay. So suppose I have this circuit like this. So it is better to express in this form. So suppose I have a resistive element, battery is connected here. Okay, suppose I have this resistive element, say battery, you can do, doesn't matter, or you will not connect, let it be. If it is here, one more battery is there, fine. Now one more battery is present here, followed by resistance, then this is the source or battery source. Let's say this is the resistor with the battery source present here. Okay, and I will name it. Let's say this is my resistance value 1, R2, say this is R3, say this is R4, R5, and this is R6. Okay, now let us have this positive terminal, negative terminal, battery is E1, this is negative, positive, battery is E2, positive, negative, battery is, for example, E3, negative, this is positive, battery is E4, and this is plus and minus E5. Okay, now previously what was, there were the current sources, so directly we were able to know. Here also not a difficulty, only what I have to do, you have to apply the Ohm's law also to find out the current in this particular thing. Okay, so what is my first step? I will make it reference voltage as this, then I will identify the node voltages. Suppose this is 1, V10, V20, say V30, right? Okay, and what next? Yeah, I have identified everything. Now to compute the currents, let's say this is my I1 current, this is my I2 current, and say this is my I3 current, right? In order to compute the currents, what I assume that I know V10, V20, say I know V10, V20. Let me assume that by the computation I have calculated using nodal analysis, for example, nodal analysis. Sorry. So if once I know V10, V20, V30, definitely I'll be able to compute I1, I2, I3. Okay. So for that, let us write the KCL at node 1, or yeah, KCL, what it will be, all are leaving, so this will be, let's say, I1 plus I2 plus I3, that is equal to 0. My next task is, let us express I1, I2, I3 in terms of node voltages. So in order to find out I1, this current, what I will do, it will be very simple. Say this is my X terminal, for example. So what it will be, V10. If I would like to calculate V10, what generally we are doing that, let us go from O and reach to 1. Okay, so what I'll go from O reach to O in this direction. So what is happening, E1 is rising, so voltage rises there, E1, the same terminal. So here also voltage rise, so yeah, I1 into R1. So what is I1 here, it will be V10 minus E1 upon R1. Okay, I1 we got it. Now next let me calculate I2, so that sorry, so suppose this is my one more point, let's say Y. Now in order to calculate I2, what can be done? So what will be I2? It will be V1Y divided by R2, simple as that, right? Now what next, I would like to find out what will be my V1Y. So how much will be my V1Y? It will be V10, that is potential of 1 with respect to 0 minus potential of y with respect to 0, right? So that I will get it V1Y. Now say V10 unit, now what I have to calculate, Vy0, and Vy0, let me go from 0 and reach to y. So what is it, I know, say V20, so what I can write, V10 minus say V20, and we'll go from this to this, so there is the voltage drop. So what I will do, I will write minus E2. Okay, if it would have been minus plus, there would have been plus. Okay, fine, this is the thing. So what will be I2? I2 will be 1 over R2, V10 minus V20 minus E2. Okay, now next on the same node, I can find what is I3. With the observation, I can write 1 by R6. Again, I will can consider this is XY, let's say M point. So what it will be, this will be V1M. Yeah, I3 will be V1M upon R6, and V1M, if I would like to calculate, what will be V1M? It will be V10 minus V30 minus, this is E5, so it will be E5, right? Okay, so your resultant I3 will be what, 1 by R6 V10 minus V30 minus, that is the drop, so it will be E5. Okay, now what I will do, I will add everything, I1, I2, I3. So if I am adding it, I1, I2, I3, what is it, V10 by R1 minus E1 by R1, I2 is what, this 1 by R2 V10 minus 1 by R2 V20 plus E2 by R2, that's it, yeah, finish. This is this, no? Okay, then let us come to here, 1 by R6 V10 minus 1 by R6 V30 minus E minus minus plus, so it will be plus VE5, it will be E5 is that E5 by R6. So let us express in terms of V10, V20, V30 and all energy sources onto the right hand side. So what I can write from it, 1 by R1, no, I'm sorry, this will be, equation will be V10 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 again plus 1 by R6. Okay, 3 terms over 1, then second is this and third is this. Then let me write for V20, what is it? Minus 1 by R2 V20, yeah, only one term. This is also over V30, there is only one term, so minus 1 by R6 V30 and all energy sources I will shift on to the right hand side. So it will be E1 by R1 minus E2 by R2, and this will be minus, no? Yeah, it will be minus E5 by R6. So look at this circuit, what is happening? What is happening if I am taking the same what we have developed, that is the node voltage into sum of all the conductances, that is 1 upon R1, 1 upon R2, and there is one more, that is 1 upon R3. Let me have the view. Okay, so it will be 1 by R6. Okay, fine. This is done. Now what next? The conductance which is common between 1 and 2, it is minus V20 into R2, minus 1 by R2 into V20, and the conductance between 1 with 3, what is it? That is minus minus 1 by R6. Okay, and on the right hand side all the current sources, right? Means what? All the currents. So what is it? That is again E1 by R1. So then what I am observing here, plus terminal of battery is connected to VN, so I will write plus E1 by R1. Okay, then again, is there any battery connected to this node? Yeah, this E2 battery is connected to this. So what it will be? It is negative terminal is connected to this node, so I will write minus E2 upon R2. Okay, again I will look at this. So again I observe that negative terminal is connected to the node, that's why it will be minus E5, this value is E5, okay, minus E5 upon R6. See, now let me write directly from the observations for this node. So what it will be? V20, right? Say V20, all the conductances connected with it, that is 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3 plus 1 by R4, 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3 plus 1 by R4. Then what is the common between 2 to 1? It is symmetric, so it will be minus 1 by R2 V10. And what is the common between 2 and 3? It is minus 1 by R2 R4 V30. And on the right hand side all the batteries which are connected to this. So what are the batteries? E2. So positive terminal is connected to this, so it will be E2 by R2. E2 by R2. Then let's come to E3 battery. So positive terminal is connected to this node, so it will be plus E3 by R3. Okay, then here nothing, so that's it, 2 batteries. Now let me write for third node what it will be. So again it is V30, it will be R5, R4 and R6, right? So these are the conductances connected. So 1 upon R4 plus 1 upon R5 plus 1 upon R6, this is the for 1. Then what is the common between 2 and 3? R4, so it is symmetric, so it will be minus 1 by R4 V20. Okay, and what is again common between 3 to 1? Minus 1 by R6 V10. And on right hand side all the batteries connected to node 3. So what are the batteries connected? E5. So the positive terminal is connected to node, so it will be E5, and definitely as we have to express in terms of current, so divided by that particular resistance in that branch. Then negative terminal is connected to node for E4, so it will be minus E4 upon R5. Is there any one? No. So these are the two things, right? Here also for node also 2 batteries. Okay, so this you can again, if you write again, it will be able to express in terms of conductance into unknown voltage, which will be equal to all the source currents, right? So you can put the values, you will get the results. Okay, again the condition is that the determinant of y should not be equal to 0. Okay, if I'll connect, let's say, current source somewhere here also, or somewhere here, wherever you want to connect, let's say some current source I will connect. So what will happen in terminal I2, where is that for the equation I2? Say my current source value, say IN. So what it will, if it is coming to the node, so it will be considered a positive, right? So into I will consider IN. If let's say here current terminal and direction is like this, means it is leaving the current, let's say I6 is the number. So what I can do in that I3 branch, I will minus I6 that way. Okay, so this way you can write the equation, and as we know, if we know the equation, we can solve by the help of Cramer's rule, by the use of Cramer's rule. Okay, now next, what if the let us write now, what if the two nodes are there and only instead of the combination of R and battery, let me say only voltage source has been connected. So what will be the case in this way, or what will be the interpretation? How can we do that? So suppose I have one resistor with battery like this. Okay, then second I have one more resistor with battery like this, then one more resistor with battery like this, then what it will be, one more battery is there and connected with a resistor, and one more resistor is there connected with the battery. Fine, and again this battery source is connected. This is the problem. Okay, so now let us take it the value, let's take the value 5 ohm with 5 volt battery. Let's say this value is 3 ohm with 4 volt battery. Say this is my 2 volt battery. Suppose this is the 7 ohm resistor with, let's say, the again 6 volt battery. Okay, this is 9 ohm with same 6 volt battery. This is suppose 7 volt battery, and this is, let's say, 10 ohm resistor. So how to solve? Again, let us define as what we have done. We define the reference node. Suppose this is my reference node O. These are my equations. Node voltage is V1, V2, and say V3. Okay, so let us write for equation number 1. Okay, so what I am observing for equation number 1, that is by considering the KCL at this point. So suppose this is my outgoing current I1, I2, I3, let's say. So what can be written? All the conductances, that is 1 by 5 plus 1 by 3, that's it I think, into V1 0. No, again 1 to 3 is connected now. Yeah, so this is not that way we can write, right? Here is now the problem, because there is no resistance, right? So this is the problem. Okay, student, V1 0, 1 by 5 plus 1 by 3 plus, there is no resistance, the resistance is 0 like this. Then minus common between 1 to 2 is 1 by 3, V2 0. Okay, what is common between 1 to 3? 1 by 0, V3 is 0, which is on to the right hand side negative, no? So it is minus 2 upon 0, minus 4 upon 3, and plus 5 upon 5. Okay, so if I will follow the same procedure what we have done till now, so what we are saying, this is the problem. So what it will be, we'll get it the infinite resistance, right? So again it is difficult. Okay, so there are 2-3 ways. Out of that, one simple way, what can be done, instead of, as already we discussed, that the reference node is according to the choice of the user, right? So instead of selecting, if this is the case, say only voltage source is present between the two nodes, then it is better to select any one of the node as reference node, and let us find out the solution. Let us check it out whether it is coming or not. So suppose what I will do, I will take V3 as a reference node now. Okay, this I will not take. Now let me write all the node voltages. Now this will be V0, right? So can you write for V1 3? V1 3 already we know it. If I would like to write for V1 3, what is it? V1 3 is this, there is no resistance. So what is it is because it is the potential of this with respect to ground. So there will be definitely some potential, and as the current is also flowing, right? As it is not totally this way. Okay. So what it will be? In order to find out, let me find out the potential difference between 1 with respect to 3. So for that I should go from 3 to 1 and reach to 1. So what is, if I am going this way, so what is the voltage? Minus 2 volt. I already got it this. Now V1 3 I already got it. Now I don't have to write anything for this node voltage, because this node voltage with respect to this I already know it, right? So I will not write the KCL or express in terms of this for the node 1, because now already I know it. This makes very simple now. Now how many equations you will get? You will get 2 equations, because there are 2 unknowns now. What are the 2 unknowns? One unknown will be your V23 and second unknown will be your VO3. So let me write the equation for V2 same. What it will be? V23 and sum of all conductances connected with it. So it will be 1 by 3 plus 1 by 7 plus 1 by 9. Fine. This will be V23. No. 1 by 3, 1 by 7, 1 by 9. Okay. Then what next? I would like to know between V13. So this will be V13. Right? So how much it is? Minus 1 by 3 V13, right? And what will be, so what is it? Minus 1 by 3 V13, because it is the common resistance between 1 with 2 with respect to 3, right? And what is again the common resistance between O with 3? It is 1 by 10 VO3, and which will be equal to sum of all the energy sources. So this will be 2 volt battery is connected to V2, so plus it is, so it will be plus 2 by 3. Then again, is there any term? Yeah, plus 6 by 9, and plus this also case 6 by 7. Okay, right? This is the case. Okay, done. This is for second, and V13 I know it. What is V13? That is minus 2 volt. So it will be, this factor will be plus 2 by 3. Now how many unknowns? V23 and VO3, and this you can see from right side. Okay, similarly you write for this equation, sorry, not for this node with respect to 3. So what will be VO3? VO3 will be sum of all conductances, that is 1 by 5 plus 1 by 7 plus 1 by 10. Okay, then next, is there any common between 0 to 1? Yes, that is 5. So it will be 1 by 5 V13. Is there any common between O with 2? Yeah, 7. So it will be minus 1 by 7 V23. Right? And which will be equal to, the battery is connected to that node. So negative terminal of 5 volt is connected to O. So I will write minus 5 by 5. Then the minus 6 by 7. Again minus 7 by 10. Okay, and V1 you know it, which is minus 2, so it will become plus 2 by 5, right? So how many unknown equations? How many equations? 2, and how many unknowns? 2. So we can find out that, which will be V23 will be 1 by 3 plus 1 by 7 plus 1 by 9 minus 1 by 10. VO3, yeah, minus 1 by 10 VO3, which is equal to, this is minus 2, so equal to minus 2 by 3 plus 2 by 3 plus 6 by 9 plus 6 by 7, that is 2 by 3. You can shift from here to here. Then similarly for this, minus 1 by 7 V23 plus 1 by 5 plus 1 by 7 plus 1 by 10. It is your VO3, and this is how much? 2 by 5, correct? So 2 by 5, it is been shifted here. So it is minus 1 minus 6 by 7 minus 7 by here 10, sorry, minus 7 by 10, and it was plus now. So this will be minus 2 by 5. So you can express into this matrix. Okay, what are the unknowns? V23, VO3. You will get it something onto the right hand side, and again apply the same. That is admittance inverse into your unknown IS source. You will get the unknown value, right? Okay. Okay, so this way you can write the equations for the network consist of the resistive network with dependent, independent sources, maybe other current or voltage source. Now for the dynamic circuits, if the network, till now we have seen for resistive network, but if the network consists of inductors and capacitors, that we will see once we will finish the mesh analysis. And after completion of mesh analysis, we will take the circuits which will consist of resistor, inductors and capacitors, and then we will write the equations using nodal analysis and mesh analysis, so that you will have again the clear understanding between these two. Okay, so for nodal analysis I will stop here. Before stopping, let me summarize what we have done. So what are the conclusions we can draw? First is, you can select any reference node what you want. It's not like always bottom has to be reference node. You can select your wish, but in order to select the reference node in such a way that number of elements are joining or number of elements are meeting at that particular point. Okay, next what we have seen, if I have n node in networks or in circuits, so how many independent equations I can write? I can write n minus 1 independent equations. Also, if I would like to deal with these, so better to write in terms of conductances for the nodal analysis, so that I will get it Y matrix. It depends on us on how we are writing, right? Then once we have expressed into the matrix formulation, then what next? I have to compute the admittance matrix inverse, right? So, or first I have to express into Y as the admittance matrix, and then I have to compute Y inverse. So how is the pattern of Y? If the network consists of the independent sources, okay, if the network consists of independent sources, so what will happen with your conductance matrix? It will be symmetric, where in diagonal, what are your diagonal elements? It will be the elements which will be the addition of all conductances which are connected to that, right? And off diagonal elements will be the common conductances which are connected between the nodes, right? It will be symmetric when there will be the independent sources. Okay, but when there will be the dependent sources, this is not valid. This may not be symmetric. Okay, we will get it asymmetric sort of thing, right? That we did. Now if once I have formulated everything, now I would like to compute the node voltage. Node voltages which will be Y inverse into sources or source currents. Now the question is, what will be Y inverse? So Y inverse, how can I calculate? Adjoint of Y divided by determinant Y. Now the condition is that determinant Y should not be equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, how to test or how to interpret in circuit perspective, that we have taken with the example that Y inverse into V, if it is autonomous, or if I nullify all the sources, then all V has to be equal to, all the voltages in this vector has to be 0. If by chance, if some of the vectors are non-zero, then I will say that yeah, that circuit doesn't have the solution. Means what? Your determinant of Y is equal to 0. Means solution doesn't exist. Okay. Also, we have discussed by taking the network with resistive elements consist of independent current sources as well voltage sources also. Also, we have seen that what happened, but in this, what we have observed that if we'll follow the same our steps for the nodal analysis, and if I observe that there is a voltage source only present between the two nodes, then if I'll apply the same thing, that what I there are the chances that I will get the infinite conductance, right? So this is difficult to solve. So what can be done when you will see such problem? Then what you try it, one of the easiest way that you find out or you select the one of the nodes where this voltage source are connected as a reference node and apply the same process. Understand what I'm saying? If you are having one voltage source which will be connected between the two sources, so between two nodes, then what you do, you select any one of the node as a reference node and solve the circuit. Okay, this is what the this is what the way by which we can solve the network or solve. So with this I stop here. In the next class we will see again the details that how to write the network equation using mesh analysis. Before stopping, I would again like to acknowledge Professor S.C. Datturaya, Professor Tapas Bhattacharya and Professor Ali Hajimari for sharing their videos. Thank you very much.